Andrew Tate's most recent chess game on house arrest. In the following game, we've got an absolutely crazy one. Andrew Tate tries to play like Emery Tate, his dad, with loads of sacrifices, and at the end, it gets absolutely insane. So in this game, Andrew is rated 1530, and his opponent from Brazil is rated 1503. So Tate's rating has taken a slight dip, but that's probably expected, you know, he's got lots going on. So anyway, we got a 5-minute game today. Tate has the white pieces, his opponent has the black pieces, and Andrew Tate opens up like usual with the move d4. I do like to say Emery Tate, his father, was more of a fan of e4, although he did play d4 sometimes, and he did invent his own opening through d4 called the Tate Gambit. Anyway, after d4, we see the move d5, we see c4, e6, this is known as the Queen's Gambit declined, and now bishop f4, and Andrew Tate actually implemented this exact same opening against Piers Morgan. So his over the board chess is also converting to his online. We see c6 now. And it gets interesting from here. I should say, by the way, this kind of bishop f4 idea is kind of rare when you do play the Queen's Gambit. Normally, this bishop would go to maybe g5 and, you know, would develop with the knights first. But anyway, Tate's got his own style. He's definitely got his own style after the next move, because here, instead of going e3, in which he normally does, he goes and he plays the move e4. So this is pretty Emery Tate, you know, e4 sacrificing a pawn. His opponent is, you know, he's got a couple options. He can take, he can develop, but he's got a free pawn, so why not take it? You know, I love taking free pawns. I think everyone does, to be honest. So he takes, and now we see the move knight c3. So bang, he's developing with tempo, getting his knight into the game, and he's also forcing black to do something about this. It's going to get very interesting, this game. We see the move f4 here, and now a move like f3 would be good. If Andrew would have played the move f3, just undermining this, you know, the engine is giving white a better position here, because, you know, this pawn structure is not very good, especially for this light square bishop, and he's also got very easy development. But going back a bit, instead of going f3, that would have arisen from the move f3. Instead of that, after f4, he played the move g4, which, you know, this is pretty out there. It also has reminiscence of the Tate Gambit, but the Tate Gambit was played in the Dutch defense, and his opponent plays a pretty annoying move. He goes bishop d6. Now, the reason why this is quite annoying is because especially when you're up material, you want to trade down. So when you're down material, you want to keep the pieces on the board. So he's kind of forced to play a move here. And by the way, this trade, what happens here, bishop d6 and queen d6, is going to be a very crucial theme for the rest of the game. So after queen d6, we see gf5 and we see ef5. This diagonal's open, so we go check, right? And now g6. Because after queen d1, notice how weak these dark squares are. Because all of black's pawns are on light squares, look, so the light squares are under great control. You know, this light square bishop probably not going to be that good. But these dark squares, look, you can pretty much go anywhere on these dark squares without getting attacked with, you know, with a pawn. You can get attacked by pieces, which means when Tate exchanged his dark square bishop, he exchanged probably what could have been his most valuable piece. So Andrew Tate now is going to have to navigate against this. And the game, like I said, it's going to heat up. It's very strategical. I've picked it out for a reason. So after queen d1, we see the move knight f6. Knight g to e2 now. We see castles alongside. And now rook g1. And after queen h2, he's actually down 2 pawns. Now he's down 2 pawns, but in compensation, he's going to get some nice activity here. It's going to be hard for black to defend. He's going to have to play some precise moves. It's going to get quite violent, quite hostile. So anyway, after the move queen h2, we see Andrew Tate play the move rook h3. Rook g3. I'm not too sure about this. I think a better move would have been maybe queen d2, castle alongside. We see rook g3 anyway. And especially after knight g4, you know, the rook just has to come back. Rook g2. We see queen h4. And now, a good move from Tate would have actually been to take this knight, just to kind of survive a bit, because the problem is, after the move knight g3, blocking this kind of whole diagonal, the move e3 would have been quite a nasty blow. Luckily, that wasn't played in the game. e3 was not played. Instead, we saw the move knight b to d7. And now queen e2. So queen e2, we see knight b6, this knight's hopping in, and now castles queenside. So finally, Tate has castled. Bang. He's finally castled. This is a good sign. You know, the thing is with castling is at least he's castled now, and now he can try to get some rooks to the h-file. Anyway, after castles, we see the move bishop e6, and Andrew Tate plays the fairly intuitive move here. d5. We see it takes, and he does gain some kind of forward momentum with this pawn, but he does kind of open up the c file, so a rook to c8 would be pretty dangerous, but Andrew Tate's going to get some nice compensation. So we see bishop f7, now f3. Andrew Tate's trying to undermine this knight. We see it takes, and now knight e5, so bang. You don't want to lose your queen, so we go queen f2. Now queen g5 and now king b1. And after the move rook f to d8, I invite you to pause the video and try and find the move that Tate played here, which is the best move. So if you did pause the video, the move is knight f5. Congratulations if you did find that. Now the reason why this move is extremely strong is because this queen, believe it or not, is actually trapped. It can't go anywhere here, can't go anywhere here, can't go along this diagonal. It could try queen h5, but after bishop e2, and wherever this queen goes, you know, rook g3 just traps it. You know, you're out of luck here, unfortunately, especially after knight f5, especially even if you try queen f6 here. Bang, knight e4, where are you going? You know, we can check here, we can go queen f6. Lots of deadly stuff here. So going back a bit after knight f5, Andrew Tate's opponent decided to go out, you know, with a bang, taking this knight. We see takes, and you know, you might be wondering, wait, can't we just take back? No. Unfortunately, because this rook is placed on the g2 square, you can no longer take this queen. And that's just unfortunate. This is called a pin. So after queen f5, we see the move knight e to c4, knight hopping in. And Andrew Tate is up 5 pieces of material, so we may as well exchange down. We see it takes, and now rook f1, which does allow some forks, although there is a threat here. So we see rook f8 defending that threat, and now queen d7. And after queen d7, we see the move knight e3, forking these two rooks. I mean, it doesn't really do anything because after rook g to f2, it's only really an exchange. So he's still up 3 pieces of material and he's got nasty stuff. So we see the move b6, we see knight e4. After knight e4, a5, knight f6, we see king g7, and now knight e4. And after the move rook a to d8, here Andrew Tate knocks him out with the final blow. I'll let you try pause the video and find it. So if you did find it, congratulations. I mean, there's a couple moves, but the move I was thinking of in particular, which Tate played, was rook f7. The problem is you can't take back with the king because you would be in check. So if you do take back with the rook, well then that rook falls. So that is the video. If you want to see more videos like this, like and subscribe. Go follow my Instagram. I'll put a link in the description. There's also some stuff you can check out down below. Thank you for your time and attention. Have a good day.